So, this is kind of embarrassing. I just watched the Saturday Night Live episode that Sarsha hosted, where she was doing a little song to teach people how to pronounce her name. That song actually helps. Go listen to it. That song actually helps. Yeah, I feel embarrassed. I was pronouncing her name wrong throughout this entire video. So I just want to apologize. It's Sarsha. It's Irish. Sarsha. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. When I left the theater, I felt happy. Welcome to Twisted Reviews. Alright, we're back today with yet another review. I'm sorry about the glare on my glasses. If you can see it, the sun's coming through my window. Today we're going to be doing a review on Lady Bird. This was one of my favorites of 2017. When I left the theater, I felt happy. This movie was a feel-good movie. It literally left me feeling happy. I had a headache when I got there. I didn't feel very good. I wasn't very happy either. But when I left, the headache had done went away. I was not feeling well. I was not in the best of moods. But when I left, I was singing to myself. I had a pep in my step when I left. This movie was really a feel-good movie. I would definitely recommend going to see it if you're not in the best of spirits. This movie had literally cured me. I might do something about that glare of the sun. We are sorry for your inconvenience. We are experiencing some technical difficulties. Please stay tuned and we will get back to you shortly. Sorry about that. I hope that made it a little better. I left the theater feeling great. I really wanted to go see this movie a couple more times, but sadly it was showing at the luxury theater. It's about an hour out, so. Lady Bird, another A24 film. A24 does not ever disappoint. I think there's like a few that I do not care for. Like You Learned when I did the review on Killing a Sacred Deer that I did not like. The Lobster, yes, I do not like that movie. There's nothing you can tell me that will convince me otherwise. A handful of those movies that I do not like, but majority of them I do. So I have a pretty impressive A24 collection. I don't know where all of them are, but this one's definitely going in. This one's definitely in that top rankings. This is actually going onto my all-time favorites list. This has made it already onto that. Like Wonder is another one that has done it, and I will do a review on that. I think that will be this next review after this one, so stay tuned for that. Let's just jump right into it. In my personal opinion, this has to be the best A24 film of all time to date. I know there's Moonlight, but I think this one even tops Moonlight. It is in my opinion, the best A24 film of all time to date. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that glare. Maybe I should start doing it with my glasses off. I'm sorry about that, but everything that was in this story really spoke to me, really screamed at me. It was pretty much, about a normal girl experiencing aspects of life that a girl would. Sometimes those simple stories like that make for a really good and entertaining movie. Crazy, you would think that sometimes you wouldn't think that a simple plot, or say taking a simple idea, putting it together, it would be a really good film. Like, I feel like a lot of the times now that something simple, it goes to that notion, less is more. This movie really defines that less is more, but we got a lot from this movie too, like a lot of different stuff to take from it. Everything was great, from the cast, from the story, everything. It's a beautiful film about the life of a teenager. That's the movie, a teenager. She goes from teenager, she grows up, she goes to college. That's what this movie's about. It's pretty much about life, These movies there's a lot of movies lately about life and I feel like those select few movies have really, it works, Like the movie The Big Sick. I had not seen that one yet. I was wanting to see it, but it wasn't something that I was in a hurry to see. But I feel like And I heard that film got very positive reviews, and that shows you that aspects of life make for a better story sometimes. Lady Bird follows Christine, who gave herself a nickname, Lady Bird. That's what they call her. Her parents, her best friend, they all call her Lady Bird. Lady Bird goes through all the trials and tribulations of a normal teenage life, trying to branch out more, losing her virginity, having a rocky relationship with her mother, and them being pretty much the same person simultaneously. Let's just jump right into the acting and the cast here. Laura Metcalf, okay, to me, is very, very underrated. Like, I feel like she doesn't get the praise that she deserves. She's a good actress. It's cool to see her branch out more as an actress and do more things. A lot of people probably only know her for Roseanne, playing Roseanne's sister Jackie Harris, who had about 1,000 jobs. She was a truck driver, and then she was a police woman. She worked at a plastics factory. Movie buffs would know her from Uncle Buck, the horny next door neighbor. She was really good in this. She reminds me of the mother who's on a tight budget, who gets mad whenever Lady Bird decides she wants to go to college. Her mother kind of questions it. I had that kind of experience whenever I graduated high school. My parents wanted me to go straight to work. I didn't want to. I wanted to go to college. The first question my mom asked was, how are you going to pay for it? And that's not something you're supposed to ask your children if they want to go to college. I feel like parents should support going to college. And it was kind of sad in the movie, though, where her mother, where she went behind her mother's back, which to me, she shouldn't have got mad about. I understand you're not going to be able to see your kid. You're going far away. Her mother wanted her to go to the closest college so they'll see each other a lot. I understand that part, but after a certain point, I'm not trying to, be mean or anything. Kids, after they become an adult, they want to get away from their parents. All of us do. All of us want to get away from our parents after a while. Go to college, or just move on, see if they can stand on their own 2 feet. And sometimes parents won't let us do that, and that's not right. This movie really shows how that parent mentality is sometimes. The father is very supportive and the mother is just not having it. Like, no, you're not going to college, you're going to work. Or if they accept the idea, you're going to the community college down the road, or you're going to the state school about an hour away. But the child wants to go to a university about 8 hours away, or, in another state. And that's where I get where a lot of that anger comes from, because you want to see them, but let them get out on their own. That would make them grow as a person. And I sometimes feel like the parents want to hold on to their child forever. They want them to be their little boy or girl forever, and that's just not the case. I know it hurts, but we all grow up. I trailed off there, but yeah, she reminded me of a mother. That was good acting, very good acting. Round of applause for Laura Metcalf's performance. Saoirse Ronan. I think this is like the second movie I've seen her in, but I've never really noticed her until Lady Bird. She is a really beautiful woman and a very talented actress. I really enjoyed her in this. After this movie, she is becoming a favorite of mine. And I know she's supposed to be in the movie Loving Vincent. I was going to go see that, but there it is again. That movie was not on my to rush out and watch list, so hopefully you see that shortly. Can't wait to see that. She is actually one of the main leads. Saoirse Ronan. For some reason, that's a tongue twister for me. Saoirse Ronan is becoming one of my favorites. I really enjoyed her in this. See her in more films because I think she has a bright future. She's really talented. And like I said, she's becoming a favorite of mine. And there's not much to say. It was good writing. A+ style writing. Like I said, it was, to me, in my opinion, to date, the best A24 film so far. And here's the thing too, this movie is now the most reviewed movie out there. I don't think there's ever been any other movie that's been reviewed that much and praised this much. That shows how good this movie was. It's rare nowadays when you get a movie that is just that good, like that good. I do this a lot. You will hear another one, I guarantee you, coming up shortly. You probably will. somebody trashes this movie, it's gonna piss me off because it makes no sense to trash and bash this movie. I don't know of anybody who's gonna hate this movie, and if there is, don't ever get me wrong by saying that's just their opinions. Like, of course it is. Like, say I just didn't like this movie because. But then you got people say, "Oh, I hated this piece of shit." Like, no, Lady Bird is not a piece of shit. If you say you hated this piece of shit, I question your mentality. I question your selection of taste because something's definitely wrong there. There's a difference between not liking something because and just trashing something. Let's get to my closing thoughts. My personal favorite of 2017, my number one favorite. That day I was not feeling good. I was stressed out. I was not happy. I was kind of depressed, but that movie snapped me out of it. This movie, definitely a go-see movie because I think you will come out of the movie in a way better mood than you came in. Please go support this film. I think it deserves it. I think it deserves a bigger release than what it got because where I live, it's only showing at one theater. I feel like that's not fair for this movie. Like I said, I went about an hour out to see this movie at the luxury theater, the more fancy theater. Definitely, Saoirse should definitely get an Oscar nod, if not win Best Actress, because her performance proved that she deserves a win. I feel like if the Oscars do not nominate her at least, something's wrong with the Academy. Something is wrong with their thought process and their selection process. That concludes this review. And join me when I do my next review, which will be Wonder. See you then.